Hi, welcome back to my Allen Bradley PLC test bench. Today I'm going to go through a little problem that showed up in the bench the other day that can translate quite easily into the real world in your plant. And it has to do with ControlLogix and power quality for the power fed to the power supplies for the chassis. Now what I've got is my standard 7-slot chassis that I've used in all of the other videos, and PA75 on an L61, pardon me, 62 processor. And I was all set up. I'm testing some OX8i, which are the isolated single pole, normally open, normally closed relay cards. And I have them hooked up to the 110 volt pilot lights that I've used for everything else. And wired it all up, started it up, used my standard on-off 1-second flashing circuit that I've used for many things that you've seen here. And I got called away and had to leave the shop. And I just left it running, like give it a good test, make sure the relays are clean. Well, I came back a couple of hours later and the chassis was faulted. All of the cards had the red lights on them. And I was getting a little concerned. Okay, well, something strange is going on. So what I did is flip the key switch back and forth, get it reset, go online. There's no program in the processor. And couldn't quite figure this out, so I got it reset, reloaded the program, started it up and figured, okay, let's wait and see what happens. A couple hours later, or maybe it was an hour later on the first one, it faulted again. But this time it was able to catch an error code 60. Well, there's not much information on error code 60. So I tried various things and still didn't, did it again and reloaded and pulled all the extra cards out. It's still faulted. But there was no consistency on the time. So then about the 5th or 6th time this is happening, made sure everything was out of the chassis except one, the COM cards, and no relay card. Everything works fine. Left it overnight, still running perfectly in the morning. Put one relay card back in. After a little while it faults. Okay, maybe I got bad relay cards. Got a 10-slot chassis, put it down on the bench, wired it all up. Same thing happened with different processor and different relay cards. So I finally twigged on me, and I moved the wiring from 110 volt to 24 volt. Ran it for over 24 hours, no problem whatsoever. Put it all back together on with 24 volt on for the running through the relay card. Ran another 24 hours on the 7-slot chassis, no problem. Put it back on the 110 volt, and the first time was half hour and it faults. Clears the memory, the whole thing, back to square one. So my bench is set up that everything is fed from the same UPS power supply that's sitting under the bench and wired up to a common point. So all of my field I/O, in this case, which is a workbench, and the pilot lights and all of the cards and everything here is fed off of the same power supply. So that after all of the back and forth and being very precise on how I was doing my testing, it boils down to the power supply on the ControlLogix saw some sort of spike from on the output cards, which caused it to clear the memory. Now this is the same thing that Allen Bradley did on the Slick 500s. If there's a power supply problem, you clear the memory and shut it all down. Not a good idea for industry for sure. So I've taken and rewired it back up, everything's set up, and I'm going to let this system run until it faults, and then I'll come back and I'll set the camera up on it and show you what it looks like then. But this whole thing shows that it's better to have a 24 volt power supply on your chassis than a 110 volt power supply if there's any chance that you're going to be getting spikes in your power system. The other thing with using 24 volt is now you have double filtering. The 110 volt, if that's what you're using, be very cautious that you keep the power supply on a clean, separate source and your field I/O onto a different source so that you don't get any spikes. So anyhow, what we'll do here now is swing things around. I'll show you how, first off, how the 24 volt is all wired up and give you a quick demo on that. Then move the wiring over to 110 volt, and then we'll just let it run until it faults, and we'll come back again after that. So a couple or three stops coming up here in a little bit. Hopefully this doesn't get too long like some of mine have, but I am trying to be as helpful as possible. Thanks a lot, and see you in a minute. Okay, so here's our setup. We have a 7-slot chassis, a PA75 Series B power supply, B Series chassis, a 5562 OX8 eyes, a couple of COM modules. Now this wiring arm is tied to 24 volts, and it's the OX8i, and there it is, our lights, and I turn on the switch and they just keep flashing back and forth. So you can't get much more standard than that. Now I've let this thing run as it is with the 24 volt cards off and on for 24 hours, not one fault. But what I'm going to do now is go back to my original setup, whereas that wiring arm is tied into this set of pilot lights here, which are 110 volt. And also everything on here is fed from the same UPS system, which is underneath the bench and comes up into that little splitter box there to plug everything into. This way I'm within code because it's not a permanent installation, and it's easy to get at and turn the power off. So I'm going to take and rewire this wiring arm so that it goes onto that set of terminals there, which is 110 volt, and be right back. Okay, we're back. And I've no changes here, as you can see. And I've taken and moved our wiring onto the 110 volt lights. Turn on our switch, and we're flipping back and forth. Now I'm going to leave this on until it faults. It's currently 10 after 1, and I'm not going to leave the video on, but I'll just turn off the camera, and once it's faulted, which will take anywhere from 10 minutes to 4 hours, so there's nothing consistent about it, and we'll add that into the video. So we'll be back. Okay, so here we are back. It's now 4 o'clock, so it's about 3 hours later. I've been out of the shop all afternoon, and I walked back in, and what have I found? The OK light is flashing here, everything red there, and looking at RS links, just do a real quick one here. 1.49 is the Ethernet module, and it can't get onto it. So come back here, and there we go. Okay, so now we've got to reload, and we go program, run program, finally get our green light, and everything over here is still flashing red for the relay output cards. And looking at our Ethernet switch on the side here, it's over here, it appears to be still functional. But what I've had a couple of times with this is it has actually locked up the switch. The lights don't, when you're looking at a switch, you can tell it's working by the, the way the lights are pulsing. There was no pulsing at all. So this thing is definitely a hard sort of reset problem. So try again with the Ethernet COM card, and back on RS links. And now that we've done the reset of the chassis, let's see, we can just zoom in there a bit. Yeah, there we go. You can see that. You can see the chassis, the Ethernet modules, DHR/I/O, everything that it is there, and it shows the cards. So if we look at device properties, it's alive there. Station diagnostics, support, pardon me. So anyhow, because we've got our green light, it's working. And same with those. So now we close that, we hit download, and as you can see, you may be able to see right here, the connected controller has no name. It has completely wiped away everything in it. So we're going to download again. We'll just swing back to the cards. There we go. And hit download. And our faults go away in the cards. So I'm just to confirm and prove everything out like all of us should always. And hit run. And back to remote. I'm just going to let this now run for a few hours or until I see it's faulted, and just give you another timeline on it. But like I say, it doesn't seem to be consistent. Alright, back again at the next fault. Okay, so here we are. It is now 4:53. I've been out again for a little bit, so I'm suspecting it might have been a half hour before it faulted. And exact same procedure to do again to do the reset. Run program, run, and you see how we still have these ones here, still have the red light flashing. So just for the heck of it, yep, power this down, power it up, and obviously because we have the I/O light flashing, these are flashing, there is no program left installed in this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to power it down. I'm going to move the wires onto the 24 volt and restart it, and I'll keep track of when I restarted it, and just let it run. But I have a feeling that it'll run till tomorrow morning when I get back. Okay, next step is to hopefully come back in the morning and everything's still running on the 24 volt. That'll be the last step in proving this out. So here we are, 8:30 a.m. the day after. Started this up at 5 p.m. last night, and it's still just humming away, as you can hear, and working properly. So that shows, this whole exercise shows how power quality can be affected and your memory can get wiped and everything can go into fault. And it can, the experience I've had is it can also lock up your Ethernet switch depending on how the spike happens. So keep your power supplies on a separate source. Preferably use DC power supplies, and use a lot of filtering. So there we go. I'll be posting this hopefully today. Thanks for coming. Have a look at my rest of my videos, and if you want, subscribe. Thank you.